Welcome back to Apex Investor. This is the weekly recap. The story's all about HOLO, as it has been the last month or so, and it closed the week, the previous week, at 24 cents and 82. So it was down just under 6% on Friday. It was trading between 23 to 27 cents. Volume was below the average. And we can see in the pre-market, this is Monday now, up 3%. So keep an eye on that. We're waiting for the reverse split to take effect later this month. I believe it was October the 9th, if I'm not mistaken. In other news, Nintendo jumps after Saudi fund says that it's open to a bigger stake. So that is a significant development. This isn't confirmation, but this is an indication that Nintendo it's always been a good company for the last, I want to say 40 years at least. But it's betting $38 billion on the country's potential, on Saudi Arabia's potential to become the next hub for the video game industry, perhaps building factories or facilities for Nintendo and other developers to house their operations, perhaps, because they want to diversify their wealth, not only to be relying on oil, but the video game market, which is one of the biggest markets on the planet. So next we're going to go to the subreddit. Okay, I'm over at the HOLO Short Squeeze subreddit. First post is talking about somebody patiently waiting. Well, actually, we're all patiently waiting, really. He wants to buy the stock right now at 25 cents. People seem to be saying buy after the reverse split. What should I do? It's really up to you what you want to do. The overwhelming consensus seems to be typically that stocks go down after a reverse split. It's a risk because it may not go down. There's a chance it doesn't go down, but there's a greater chance it does go down. However, if it does go up, then you've missed the boat. So it's up to you. What do you like to do? But a lot of predictions here regarding the post-reverse split price. There's a lot of different guesses, as there's going to be. Some say $11. A lot of are saying 20, 29. Personally, I say 20 to 40. Some are saying even 60, but we'll know when we get there. And finally, this is probably the best post I've read regarding HOLO in a long time. So let's go through this methodically. Talking about the possibilities, cautions, general information. So this might be helpful if you're new. February 2nd, 2024, 1 for 10 reverse split. It opened at 190. February 6th, it closed at 150, at 151. So 4 days later, and then February 16th hit a high of 98.40. February 23rd, so that's 7 days later, regained compliance with listing. March 14th, it says 14 million. This was after the dust settled from the spike. Since March the 14th, the price share did a continuous downtrend from $7.50 to 18 cents, while issued and outstanding shares went from 5 million to 410 million. Here's the caution. When a Form 6K is submitted for a CNPA, expect the share price to drop. That's that's really good, a good point. They did not do a CNPA until a month after the spike in February. Point is, if you plan on holding for way longer than you should, and you see a CNPA submitted, that should be a clue to get the heck out. And I've been saying that from the date of the reverse split, which is coming up, I believe October the 9th, we'll have about 2 to 3 weeks from that date to really bail out, basically. Note 1, convertible note purchase agreement. For example, the holder gives HOLO $14 million, then the holder converts the note into ordinary shares. They have the next 60 days to take shares at a 30% discount, equivalent to $14 million at the lowest closing price during that period. Holder then has the ability to sell these shares immediately into the market. This is what they did, and this is how the issued and outstanding shares went from 5 to 410 million. Okay, I don't really get it, to be honest. I'm not going to pretend to understand this. Let me try to make sense of it. They have the next 60 days to take shares at a 30% discount. Okay, so they're discounted. Equivalent to 14 million. They have the ability to sell the shares immediately into the market. Okay, so they decided to flood the market. Why do they not report anything? As a foreign private issuer, we are exempt from the rules of the Exchange Act prescribing the furnishing and content of quarterly reports and proxy statements, and our executive officers, directors, and principal shareholders are exempt from the reporting and short swing profit recovery provisions contained in Section 16. In addition, we are not required under the Exchange Act to file periodic reports and financial statements with the SEC as frequently or as promptly as U.S. companies whose securities are registered under the Exchange Act. Pursuant to the home country rule exemption set forth under NASDAQ listing blah blah blah, we have elected to be exempt from the requirement under the NASDAQ listing rule to obtain shareholder approval for the issuance of 20% or more of our outstanding ordinary shares. So this sounds like they've really studied the game, and they've pretty much developed a formula for how to pump and dump and then to rinse and repeat that pump and dump. We should all stop expecting a quarterly earnings report. They will not provide one. Wait. Say what? How many shares are issued and outstanding? On January 30th, they approved an additional 450 million authorized shares. This means they only have 40 million authorized shares remaining. On September 27th, they approved an additional 475 million authorized shares, effective after the reverse split, because they issued out all the ones they had back in February after the split. From their 6K, it says 410 million, 410.8, it's rounded out to 0.9, so 411 million of our ordinary shares issued and outstanding and entitled to vote. Voting rights are granted only to issued and outstanding shares, which are shares that have been sold to shareholders and are currently in circulation. Unissued shares remain under the control of the corporation. Can be issued in the future. Sorry. Trying to talk English normal, but all these accents I hear on YouTube just fumbles me up. Although English is my mother tongue. But until they are issued, they do not confer any ownership on or voting privileges. Okay, so they have to be issued first. From their 6K on September the 3rd. Is that September the 3rd? Yeah, I believe it is. Blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to read that. I think I went through that already. Why another 475? We may from time to time. Yeah, they're trying to raise $300 million, and they've only raised 150. Get ready for round 2. Can they do another split after this 1 for 20? So it says here, edit for clarification on October 9th. That's when it will be executed. Or executed, sorry, say executed, like the Pokemon. After October the 9th, they can't do another split until February the 2nd. Wow, that's a great detail. We should highlight that. That's a really good piece of information. This may be their last hurrah. Oh, goodness. Can you imagine? This may be their last hurrah, or they'll try very hard to navigate their CNPAs well enough to stay above $1 between now and then. I mean, they only have to stay above $1 for what, a day or a week? The CNPAs killed this. They'll manage those this time like a water faucet, turning it on and off as necessary. The last 8 months was intentional. Oh my God, this sounds like a government conspiracy. They wanted this to go to 20 cents. It's just at the value where they can pump and dump it, and then they can dilute it again. Something to look out for is if they announce another CNPA before the spike. So that, you mentioned that already. Good to recall that. This scam company, just repeat it over and over just so it gets drilled down. This scam company shorts their own stock. Oh my goodness. What? That's obvious. So they'll artificially spike it like last time to make money on both sides. So this is really a cash cow, and they're not losing any money. My goodness. Scam alert. Wow. Yeah, definitely. If it spikes after the reverse split, what could it go to? Pure speculation on my part. So I guess I have to take back what I say about God bless you. God bless your investments unless you're short, because they're shorting. HOLO is shorting their own stock according to this poster. Pure speculation, but here's my thoughts. The spike in February was 588 million market cap. When it hit a $98 intraday high, it closed at $66. Okay, so it closed at 66, but it did reach 98. So that's why when I mentioned the 3 spikes, it went to $100 per share all 3 times, including the 3rd time. Will it go to 100 again this time? You know what? It might, because if they are really manipulating it to the point where they're shorting it themselves and they're also pumping it themselves, you can bet it's probably going to 90 then. It's probably going to 90 again. So I would be very patient and just wait and see. I wouldn't sell too quickly. So it has happened, but that was the tippy top. Assuming a 15-cent pre-reverse split, so if it's 15 cents a gain, multiply that by 2, it's 30 cents. By 10, it's $3. So a $3 post, put it right there. Based on the best case scenario of a $588 million market cap, that would be $29 tippy. That's actually a really good guess. That's not just a shot in the dark. That's a very, you know what, I think that's right on the money, to be honest. It might just go to $29 when you consider the number of outstanding shares, you consider all the other factors in play. I think $29 might be the real number. This is a really good post. It's realistic to get in after the reverse split under $4 and sell at $16 for a 4-time multiplier. Best case, get in on the dip after the reverse split, assuming it's 3 at around 260. Well, this guy's really nailed it down. Sell at 26, assuming it gets that high for 10 times multiplier. Okay, but he's assuming it's going to dip. If it doesn't dip, then you miss the boat again. So it's no guarantee it dips. It's also no guarantee it spikes, but reading this post, it's very convincing that it does. So beware of I thought it said beware of China. No, beware of the CNPAs. This could prevent the spike, but we'll certainly put an exclamation point on the spike being done, on the spike being finished. So it's past its due date, basically. If the spike already happened, yeah. Actually, I give it a week after the first spike. After the reverse split, outstanding shares will be 20.5 million. I think by the time the CNPA is announced, it's already too late. It'll have dropped enormously. So after the reverse split, the outstanding share number will be 20.5 million. 475 million authorized to fund the CNPAs. Every time a CNPA is announced, it means it means dilution of shares, not dilution. Retail owns over 95% of the 410 million shares issued. Based on market cap alone, it may possibly hit 25 to 29 post-reverse split, assuming a spike happens. That is a really good post. That is excellent. I would upvote that, but I'm not logged in. Let's just see some some comments. Yeah, thank you for this post. Let's do this. It's this guy again. Wow, he is really on the money. Thank you. Let's do this. 169. This is what dilution is and why it went from 5 to 410 million issued in outstanding shares. Should I go over this again? Let's look. March 14th. The day's high, 850 to 215. April 22, 18 million, 298. May 9th, 390. May 22, 18. Yeah, really just falling and falling. August the 12th. This was the same day of receipt of minimum bid price. That day, the day's high was 31 cents. Between August 16th and August 23rd, the share price went from 28 cents to 72. That's around the time when it caught my attention. August 21, that day, the day high was 55 cents. No more CNPAs since then. Assumption is the CNPAs were executed and retail paid 202 million. This is an important warning because the share price may already be at $4 to $5. After the reverse split, they may not need it to spike. Oh shoot. But beware if you see a CNPA before the spike. That is a really good warning. Thank you for that. So if we see a CNPA before the spike, ooh, that is going to just destroy everybody. All the retail investors. Yeah, there's anger at this point is a waste of time, definitely. And fear and uncertainty and doubt, they're all a waste of time. Any possibility they throw a curveball, canceling the reverse split, making a major positive announcement? I don't think they will. Saves them a reverse split they can use in 2025. I think they've narrowed it down to a very specific formula. I don't see why they would deviate from that. The ones I checked, it looks as though they post to SEC 2 days after they enter into a CNPA. Would be nice to know when they enter the agreement sooner than 2 days later. I don't think they're concerned with 1,000 or so Redditors at this point. It's actually more than that. There's thousands and thousands of people that are investing. Remember, they need the reverse split to happen in order for them to add another 475 million shares. Yeah, good point. Without the additional shares, they cannot enter into a CNPA because they have no more authorized shares to give right now. That's why they haven't done any since August. Even though leading up to August, they were doing 1 or 2 every month since March. That conditional upon and effective immediately upon the... Okay. What a nightmare this has become. I was in on the February spike at this point. Wish I never heard of it. Yeah, I kind of feel the same way. Why crush, avoid a spike this time around? What's different this time versus February? I would think they want a huge spike to maximize their shorting haul. Okay, why avoid a spike this time around? That's a good question. Why would they... Okay, I think he's saying, why would they not want a spike? Why would they prevent it with an announcement of a CNP? Yeah, it's basically the same logic of when I said, why would they not want the reverse split? Why wouldn't they not approve that and vote for it? Same deal here. Why would they not? Why would they do this? They wouldn't sabotage themselves. Just common sense. So this is really good, very positive. I'm grateful to Let's Do This 169. Certainly helps viewers of this channel who are in the dark about these things. Should I sell before the reverse split and then rebuy it? That's a good question. It's important to research the stock thoroughly. Look at its recent performance. I mean, learn the resistance levels and support levels. Consider your financial goals. I mean, if I wouldn't gamble in this stock. I mean, I'm already in it, so I have to make the best of what the situation is. But if you are adamant in buying into the stock, I would buy at 20 to 30 cents and then sell, as this user said, $20 to $29. Could do worse. Where do we learn the CNP has happened from here? But by the time we find out, it might be too late. So I honestly wouldn't wait for a CNPA. I would just follow the chart and sell accordingly. If anyone is in HOLO, there won't be any potential for a spike. Yeah, I'm not sure what he's trying to say. HOLO could only spike after a split. It can't split until... a spike can't happen until a reverse split. Yeah, because of the dilution. True. It was only 5 million when it spiked in February. But this time it's going to be 20.5. So that's why he's saying, if you divide... Basically, you're dividing... what is it? $100 by 5. So that's going to be about 20 bucks. Yeah, it might be 20 to 30 bucks at the most. That makes sense. Could go to 40 still, but you know what? 20 seems more reasonable, or realistic, not reasonable. Not that any of this pump and dump stuff is reasonable. Due to the 1 for 10, another split cannot happen until February it can't happen until February the 2024. I think he means 2025. After October the 9th, it will be split 200 times. They can't exceed 250 in a 2-year period. That's a really good that's a good piece of information as well. Hypothetically, let's say that they did not do the split. We know there are 410 million shares outstanding. If people thought it could spike to, say, $50 a share, that would be a 20.5 billion market cap. See how impossible that is without a reverse split to reduce the outstanding share count from 410 to 20.5 million. Yep. Good point. Great point. Now this is really on fire, this topic. Okay, so this person is... yeah, I don't think they have their facts straight here. Please understand. That's like a Nintendo meme. That screenshot refers to shares after the reverse split. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's got it right. Okay, so I think that's it for this video. That was actually one of the most helpful posts I've ever read on HOLO. And so I hope this video is also helpful in that way of presenting what was posted. Okay, so I think that's it for this weekly update. And if I don't post a video Monday, I may not post a video this week until the end of the week. The only exception I will make is when the reverse split goes into effect. So I might not post until the reverse split October the 9th or the 10th, depending on when we really see that price movement. Okay, so thanks for your time. Until next time, God bless you and God bless your investments.